going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am here in San Jose, California at Oak Hill Memorial Park. I'm going to go explore the grounds here of this cemetery. As you can see behind me, I got this awesome, what it looks like, it could be a receiving vault, old-time receiving vault behind me. So let's go check it out. I have seen this receiving vault before. It is awesome. I'm wondering if they still use it. It still looks pretty good inside. So for someone who's getting maybe an elaborate grave built, they might still be using it. Because each spot in there doesn't have a name on it and is basically a hinged door inside each spot. So I would assume, like I've heard before about receiving vaults, and what I've seen other receiving vaults, that's exactly what it is. You can see inside, it's in pretty good shape in there. And it still looks like it could be used at some points. Possibly for someone who's having a big elaborate grave constructed. Outside the door says Oak Hill. It's an awesome constructed door. And it says AD 1901 on the outside. It looks like at this point it's probably just being used for storage on the inside, but it's still very clean, very nice inside. So far, out of all the receiving vaults I've come across, which is only a couple so far, so this one right here is probably the most well kept and the one that's in the best shape that I've seen. Like I said, they may still use it. I don't know. If I can find a cemetery worker, I may just ask them if they still use this for people who are having some of these big elaborate graves that are being constructed that I'm going to show you today. I'm going to ask a cemetery worker if they still use this thing, because like I said, it looks like it could be used for storage. There's a bunch of stuff in there, but it's super clean inside, and the outside is still nice and kept up. And sometimes when I find a receiving vault like at Hills of Eternity, it's just in shambles. Like this one is still looking good. One more thing I wanted to add about this one. People come here and put flowers and whatnot on the door still. I don't know if you noticed that earlier when I was showing it. Like little artificial flowers. And even like someone has a little stuffed animal there, which is interesting. And I don't know if you could really appreciate how big this thing is, but it's a pretty good size one. I'm gonna walk across the front real quick. Drive up the road here, up at the top here. I want to visit a grave, a famous grave of somebody, and I'll show you guys what it is or who it is when I get up there. Now up in this outside mausoleum type area that's a beautiful fountain. A pretty famous grave of a well-known person here. This is the final resting place of well-known psychic Sylvia Browne. She was on countless TV shows, radio programs, etc., over the years. She had even played herself on an episode of Young and the Restless at one point. Like I said, she has been on all kinds of talk shows and radio shows and all kinds of stuff. She has received some criticism because of some of her predictions that were proven false, but you know, it's all up to what you think. And on Larry King Live in 2003, she predicted that she would die at the age of 88, but she died in 2013 at the age of 77. That is psychic Sylvia Browne. Yeah, Sylvia Browne was pretty well known out here. I remember as a child, she was on a bunch of our local talk shows, you know, etc., etc. And I remember her quite well, you know, and that was the final resting place. This area up here is very, very beautiful up here at the top of the hill. Plane going over. But there's a lot of open spots up here. Let me show you. Like, these are all open right here. Nobody here yet that we know of. It's very, very beautiful. And it's overlooking the whole, pretty much the whole cemetery grounds here. It's very, very awesome. And there's still like a lot of ones here too that are just not occupied yet that we know of. I'm gonna try to give you a perspective of the view up here. As you can see a lot of the cemetery from here, and there's the main mausoleum there up on the hill that was in my other video. Beautiful. So let's go down to the flat ground area, the flatlands, and I'll show you some of the areas down below. There's a lot of really old areas down below. There is I do believe a section for a Civil War area, and I do believe they have a 9/11 memorial here too that I might find at some point. But let's go. This main fountain, smack dab in the center of the cemetery, though it's not running. The water isn't running today, but it's a awesome fountain area. It's an area for cremations, as you can see down below at the base of this. And they have, looks like, the statues of the different saints. Interesting. As you can see, the water is not going in the fountain. I don't know if it's for possible drought reasons, being this time of year. Thomas right here. Philip. John. James Major. Andrew. Peter. Interesting one right here. Paul. Paul's got a sword. Thaddeus. Simon. James Minor. Matthew. And we're back at the beginning here. And like I said, they have the cremations stuff down at the base of this. Beautiful. Would be awesome to be placed here. As you can hear, there's a plane flying above. We are, I guess, in direct path to the San Jose airport, unfortunately. But let's go walk around and see, look at some of these stones and some of these old stones even, and check this stuff out. This area is Robinson. As you can see, interesting. Charles H. Robinson, August 10th, 1856 to April 9th, 1909, a native of Canada. A little bit of a shadow, I think. Mary Robinson, March 24th, 1854 to June 27th, 1926. And here lies the woodman of the world, it says. The stone's kind of crooked. I don't know if it's getting pushed or if it was designed in that way, but as you can see, on the base there, it looks kind of crooked. Interesting. Here's a nice spacious area with no stones in it, which is very interesting. I don't know if this is reserved for future use or what's going on here. There's a name on this thing, but it's so rubbed out, it's kind of hard to even see it. Pearson is maybe possibly the name, but as you can see, there's no stones in here. Look at this one. Angousters. And I can make out France on that stone in San Francisco. 66, I would say, years of age. This is not quite in English. France, they're saying France, so this is French. If you guys could transcribe this. Antoine. 1844. And 1905. Huh, that's interesting. And there's Mary, born January 7th, 1893, aged 8 years. Interesting. Is this a military? I think this might be a military stone, actually. Yeah, I think it is. Kind of hard to make out, though. Lieutenant, I think. And something infantry there. It's hard to make out with the naked eye here. What do you guys think? Can you make it out? Looks like there's family is, the last name is Schwind. And then there's Schwind and there's Miller on the other side. But the thing is, right here in the middle, there's an unmarked right here. I don't think there's nothing on it. And if there ever was, it's not there anymore. But that is interesting. Looks like there's some people gathering over here for some kind of service over here as well. So I'm just gonna try to stay away from the services I see today. They seem to be a little extra busy today, so we're gonna try to stay away from all that. As you can see, this cemetery is just huge. So, Union veterans of the Civil War, 1861 to 1865. This section here, GAR at the top, I do believe that's Grand Army of the Republic. So, Union veterans of the Civil War, right in this area here. You can see the flags flying. These stones are really low to the ground, really small. And it looks like some of these soldiers were buried with their spouses in this area. What we got here? McClintock, E.A. McClintock, 51st Infantry, Esther A, 1848 to 1929. Interesting. Our veterans. Curtis O'Neill.
And he was buried with his wife, Maria, 1844 to 1922. Some of these stones are really hard to make out. This one's actually in pretty good shape, but some of them are just really, really hard to make out over here. B.F. Barkalow, 1841 to 1932, his wife Anna, March 1st, 1844 to August 25th, 1919. Interesting. And this section over here, across from the other one I was just at, looks like a lot of these are all Spanish-American War veterans too. Carl M. Reichardt, U.S. Army, Spanish-American War. And some of these, like I said, are hard to, what is this, like moss or something growing on it, or some kind of, I don't know, fungus, or you can see that's kind of hard to make out. Look at this interesting one right here. It's a monument with an anchor and a little chain up top. Check that out. And it says here on the inscription, Albert Schulenberg Memorial, dedicated September 8th, 1974, in memory of Wheaton Camp No. 8, San Jose, and to all who have served in the Spanish-American War. Chartered April 18th, 1904, disbanded March 17th, 1971. Surviving member George P. Peterson, last commander, rest in peace. Wow. I like that anchor. Look at this interesting stone. I think the last name's Gerber. This is father and mother. Interesting little design. I like this. This one next to it says mother. A nice little design. Ah, here we go. Geiger's the name, excuse me. W.R. Geiger died July 28th, 1898, aged 36 years, 3 days. Dearest loved one, we have laid thee in the peaceful grave's embrace, but thy memory will be cherished till we see thy heavenly face. And then William Geiger died August 22nd, 1891, aged 65 years. Thou hast left us lonely. That's an awesome stone. I like that. Phyllis Geiger, that's his mother on the backside of this. Born June 2nd, 1819, died. Huh, interesting. 1819 born, and then the died is there. Huh. Native of Berwick-on-Tweed, England. So fare you well. When we meet in heaven, we will part no more. That's awesome. Awesome stone. I like these. The Goldsworthy family area. John Goldsworthy. I guess the family, or the men in the family were into mining back in the 1800s. And I've noticed that the top piece of this is laying right here, and it was up here. As you can see, it's missing, and I guess somebody toppled it over. And John Goldsworthy's son, which is John Jr., was a city surveyor for Los Angeles and an engineer until his death. There's different family members in here. Interesting. This is an interesting stone, beautiful W.M. Vale. Died July 20th, 1896, aged 76 years. This has got a really awesome statue. Detailed as hell, too. It's beautiful. This cemetery is just massive. There's just like hills, and it spans out all around, and then it goes up into the hills. I mean, this is just insanely big. There is an interesting stone. It looks like a log. You can see the detail on it. That's just awesome. Ben J. Casey, L.C. Casey, R.J. Barker, and that last one I cannot make out. Macaulay, maybe, R.J. Macaulay. What I like about it is just this stone is so awesome. It looks like an old log, the way it's carved up. Oh, Calhoun. Reverend Alexander Calhoun, born in Ohio, January 18th, 1833, died in Alameda, California, May 11th, 1898. Pastor, United Presbyterian Church, San Jose, California, 1874 to 1890. Pastor, UP Church, Alameda, California, 1892 to 1898. Faithful unto death. And Rebecca J., his wife, 1833 to 1913. Wow. That's interesting. Alameda, California, that was the city I was born in. On top of Henry Larson's stone, there is a athletics award from the university. Looks like for basketball. Henry Larson died in 1937, but somebody had brought their award, 2011, 2012, most inspirational, to the stone here. What I'm liking about this one is Jacob and Julia Heft. Their area is it's like a bed with pillows, which is very interesting. I'm liking that. On the Find a Grave app, I didn't find much on Jacob Heft or his wife, but yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. There's a lot to see here, a lot more to see. I can always come back. But thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna go walk around and find some more things. I'm getting some emails filtering in here and there that some of you have received your Crypt door giveaway stickers. Don't forget, if at all possible, tag me on social media and show me where you stick them, if you stick them anywhere. If not, tag yourself with it. But let me know. And if you are enjoying what I do here, please consider becoming a member of the channel. It is not required, but it helps the channel run smoothly. And that link is in the description box below. Thank you all so much. Talk to you later.